Hello, everybody, and welcome to Monday Coffee with Kalan. I am Kalan, and you guys are here with me today. So I'm sorry, I'm a little discombobulated today. I'm not feeling too good. My back is killing me. But it's like one of those days when the you have a substitute teacher and they just want to put a film on for everybody. That's kind of how I feel today. But no, I appreciate you guys popping in and spending some time with me. I don't think much modeling is going to get done today, so mostly just chatting with you guys and just seeing how things are going out in the world of modeling and see what you guys are up to and update you on basically what I'm doing. So hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm still trying to work out this lapel mic. Sometimes if it works better if it's farther away for some reason. So if I like clip it to a boom mic, then it picks up sound really good. But I'm going to switch this banner over. But first, let's give a big shout out to our patrons, Steve Wylands, who is in chat, the Maker's Cave. How are you? Thank you for joining us today. Also, Ian Campbell from Partwork Upgrades. He is also a patron of the channel and appreciate him very, very much. And then for the Buy Me a Coffee, we have as for Buy Me a Coffee, you can become a member of that, kind of similar to Patron. And we have Linda Charles Christian as our member over there. So if you'd like to head over there and become a member of the channel, you can check it out in the description down below. There will be a link for that. So thank you so much for all of your support. And I'm trying to get painting done, but we are supposed to be getting rain this week, which kind of causes a problem because then I don't know, the paint just doesn't painting while it's rainy and cold just isn't the same as if it's warmer out. And we went from 75 degrees last week to now it's supposed to be raining, and it's currently says it's 35 and mostly sunny. I haven't been outside yet. I just let the dogs out, but it did look like it rained a little bit overnight, but now the sun's out. So we'll see. Hopefully maybe I can get a little bit of painting done if I crank up the heat in the room. So let's see who all is in chat. We have Mark Shellard saying, hi, Kalan. Good morning. How are you? I know for you it's about 6 o'clock, I believe. And me saying hi to everybody. And if you do want to follow along on Facebook, this is live on Facebook as well. So you could always head over there. And I'm saying hello, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful Monday. And of course, it repeats everything I say on Facebook. And Steve from the Maker's Cave is in pretty good for a Monday. That's awesome. I hope you're doing well, Steve. And I'm not sure exactly how far along you are on the ladder 9. I think I have up to pack 3 now, so I'm gonna try cranking those out and getting some work done on those. But I'm wondering if you're going to be doing any mods, Steve, to the lighting. So the lights up here, when they flash, you don't really see a whole lot, and it doesn't reflect out here much because the bulbs as you see, the 2 LEDs are right there in the very top. And there's also I didn't know if you were going to add other lights and stuff to it as well, Steve. So if you are, I'll definitely be checking those out and seeing what you do with it, and possibly ordering those from you. Frizzo's Model Cars is in. Hello, doing well here on the East Coast. Good. I don't know what your guys' weather is like this week, if it changed too. I guess there was some kind of a front coming in that was kind of bringing snow to at least the central U.S. So they're talking about snow here too, but I'm one of those that, because here in Yreka, we live in a weird little vortex. So it could be snowing in the town over, and totally sunny here, which in Yreka, which is so bizarre. And Steve was saying East Coast here too. Mark just turned 6 p.m. in the UK, but regardless, hi anyway. Yeah, good late afternoon to you guys, Mark. And Card Diva is in the house. Linda, Charles, Christian. Good morning, Kalan. Good to see you. And Steve was saying, actually, it's Willens, no Y sound. Thank you, Steve. I've been wondering. So Steve Willens. That's good to know. Thank you so much, Steve, for correcting me on that. I've always wondered. It's like Lou DeMalso. I always wonder if I'm saying his name right as well. And Muse is in the house. Morning, Kay. Good to see you, Muse, as always. Hope you're doing well. I'm sure you probably are working later on today. So yo-yo weather is messing with my painting plans too. Yeah. I'm afraid. So here's the thing: is I need to put the clear coat, the final flat clear, and clear coats on the Land Rover Series 3, so I can get it out to its buyer. And I'm afraid to do it when it's this much moisture in the air. Usually we don't have any moisture, so I'm grateful and so thankful for the rain. Because we definitely need it. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to push that off a little bit, Linda. So I don't know when I'll be getting the final paint put on it and then finally putting it together. I have so much I have to paint is the problem. So I think I can get away with primering. Typically primer isn't a big issue. I need to get a few things primered, like the Bismarck. I have loads of stuff to do on the Bismarck and things like that. So definitely puts a kink in your plans. And Mark was saying hi to Muse, and Mark's saying hi to everyone else too. And Steve saying editing pack 3, starting part 4. Okay, so yeah, just let me know when you get to those parts. There's got to be a solution. There has to be a solution for those light bars, whether or not, if somebody just creates new light bars to put on top to replace those ones. I wish I had the means to do it, because I totally would. Just because that's a big issue for me on that. Just to be honest, not sure yet. Definitely have an upgrade for that MDT. Yes, I did see that you were going to backlight that, and that I definitely am interested in. So that's really cool, Steve. I can't wait to see that. Muse is saying we all have seasons in a week at this point. That's exactly what's happening. Hey, Buck, Top from Hobby Link International. Good afternoon, Kalan. Thank you for joining us today. And I'm sure your weather is probably just as crazy as everybody else's this week. So I know that Eric was talking about them getting 20 inches of snow, and they thought they were in springtime, maybe. Muse is saying all the plants and animals are confused. Yeah. So here's kind of, we have a couple of fruit trees in our backyard, and they are starting to bloom already. And that, which means petals are already coming out. They're blooming. Our apple tree and our pear tree. And if it freezes, that's going to really screw up how those produce this year. So that'll be really interesting. I kind of hope it doesn't. And I just fertilized my lawn, which I don't know. I've had plenty of water on it to hopefully kind of soak in and get those nutrients in there, but we'll see. Steve is saying 40 today, near 80 tomorrow. Wow, that's a 40-degree difference. That is crazy. Yeah, weather is nuts. I just want to get the color on my eggplant. Can't use rattle cans in the house. Very true. Very, very true. The Tamiya primers are the only ones that I have in rattle cans. And so far, I'm actually really happy with how the spray primers turn out. It's pretty nice. I just have the white and then like the gray, And I also need to try Mr. Surfacer. I don't know how Mr. Surfacer does. I got a few different ones. I do want to get the 500 because I know it's a lot thicker. So we'll see. Because I heard it does really well for gap filling and things like that. So it's one of those things I wanted to add to my arsenal. Eric is doing spring wrong again. Yeah, top, most definitely. They have the strangest climate over there. We have those differences in temp too. My goodness, yeah. Uh, right now it says it's 35 degrees, but that's the weather typically taken in. Well, actually, no. This one is taken right near us here in Yreka, so that might actually be accurate. And it says nearest rain is 6 miles away, but the sun's out. I don't know. You can't really see it. Maybe on the back wall there. Yeah, the sun is out today, so. Muse is saying, I normally don't use many rattle cans, but I want to use the pearl blue, and yellow for my eggplant. Wow, that's going to look awesome. Did you, I don't think that HobbyLink International, we're doing it this year, but next year, Marcy, we're doing, I guess, an tunes type build, so the egg planes and the little tune boats and different things like that. I guess we're going to have a diorama for those. And the giveaway on HobbyLink International this month is eggplant and tune related. So just to kind of go along with Easter, with the month being Easter and all that. So that should be really cool. I don't know what Kenny is planning on giving away yet, but I've never done an eggplane or one of the tune dioramas. Like that little tune Titanic that Dirk built just turned out really nice. And then I've seen a lot of them and they're becoming very popular. I do know that Bud is going to be building, I think it's an egg plane that he's building, and he's going to be doing that here really soon as well, I know he's pretty excited to build that. I've seen a lot of really cool ones. They do have the Blue Angels, which I really like. I've always liked the Blue Angels since I was a kid, because they used to come to Seattle a lot, and you'd see them flying over. And they have a Blue Angels egg plane, which I'd love to get at some point. Linda is saying that Squim got snow Sunday. No way. We just got hail on Saturday, just a week of windy and rainy days, temperatures 35 to 50. So for those of you that don't know, in the Pacific Northwest, Squim is, and I know it looks like sequin, but that's not how you pronounce it. It's pronounced Squim. So Squim is kind of between Port Angeles and Port Townsend. And it's a wonderful town. I used to live there. My sisters live there, and my nieces and nephews, and some of them live in Port Angeles. But Squim, it's only it's not even a big gap. It's like, maybe like 10 miles in between, 10, 15 miles. And Squim is kind of smack dab between Port Townsend and Port Angeles. And it gets the craziest weather compared to, it could be snowing and raining in Port Townsend and totally clear and sunny in Squim. And then in Port Angeles, kind of similar, but Port Angeles sometimes gets the better weather, sometimes like Squim does, but not always. So Squim's kind of in a weird little vortex as well, which is kind of it makes it a neat place to live just because it's usually sunny there and nice. I do miss the area, and it's right on the Puget Sound, so across the water from Canada, basically. So it's in that it's up on the tip, that little tip on the left-hand side of Washington State. I put pics on my Insta, not much done yet. Oh, cool, Muse. I'll have to go check out the Instagram. I love tune boats too. Yeah, the little tune boats actually kind of intrigue me a little bit, so I might be checking those out, just because they would be fun little builds. And you know, I need to get the eggplanes that have pilots. None of mine have a pilot. Yeah, I've been seeing that. That's really cool. Um, the I can't remember. There was one of them that they're kind of like I would say they almost look like anime characters, sort of. And John Paul, hi John Paul. I hope you're well. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you got my email. I don't remember when I sent it, but yeah, I haven't been to see him. It's just there's been a lot going on with me getting ready for surgery and things like that. And by the way, my surgery did get bumped, so I won't be having my surgery next Monday. It was scheduled for next Monday and next Tuesday because I have two surgeries. Well, they got bumped, and we don't know when it's going to happen now, because they're trying to work with the other people scheduled, because the surgeon only does the surgery at the hospital one surgery a month. And uh, July might be the soonest that I can get in. And he said if uh, there is also a spot in August, which would be the absolute latest. So they're trying to fit me in sooner if they can, but most likely it'll be July or August now. So, and like today, I'm really struggling today. It's if I don't move too much, I'm all right, and I won't wince in pain. So trying not to move a whole ton, but and John said yes, I did. Okay, thank you. I apologize, John. So what I'm talking about with John is there's this gentleman that and he's south, doesn't live too far south from me, maybe about 2 hours away, that has over 10,000 model kits that he's trying to sell and get rid of. And John and I had put in requests for particular models. Like I wanted a 1975 Firebird Formula, like the one I used to own. That was my first car, was a 1975 Pontiac Firebird Formula, and he has one. It's like a holy grail kit, and he had that, and then another Plymouth Fury that I wanted, and so he put those on hold for me. John, he put some on hold for John as well. And unfortunately, I was going to go down there and pick them up because it would be actually just to see what else he had and maybe pick up some other kits. But I just haven't been able to work it out. And at one point, the gentleman had COVID, so I couldn't go do that. So unfortunately, and I can't sit in the car for 2 hours is the problem. It kills my back, and so um, I don't know. At some point, maybe at this point, John, I might just have him send them up to me. So I'll talk to you more about uh, whether or not you want him just to mail you your kits uh, or whatnot. So we'll talk about that another time. So, anyways, Muse of St. G's, hope they can get you in sooner. Yeah, it's funny because there's all these little pre-surgery things you got to do, and we were right in the middle of doing all that, getting labs, doing all this stuff, and then they called me with the bad news. So it is what it is. My wife was a little upset just because she hates seeing me like this, and it sucks because there's so much that right now is the time of year to get projects done outside in the yard and stuff, because in about another month or two, it's going to be so hot you can't do anything. And so, uh, this is the time of year to do it. And I also have to get on the roof and do a bunch of stuff. And I just can't do it right now. And my wife, it's not stuff that she likes to do or really can do. So, we'll get there. I might, thankfully, but if I get the surgery in July, then towards the end of summer, I'll be healed enough to where I can do stuff like that. That will be fine. You have my email now. Yeah, thanks, John. And Kevin from KX4 Gaming and Models is in the house. Hello, all. Hope you're doing well, Kevin. Thanks for popping in. And he is the other top from HobbyLink International, top 2. And HobbyLink International is also changing things up on how they do their giveaways a little bit. So if you head over there, Kenny talked about it in one of his last videos. So because the cost of shipping is just outrageous now, I was talking to Andy over at Andy's Hobbies headquarters, and because they have a website in the UK, they have a warehouse there as well in the UK, or I don't think it's in UK, but it's in Europe. Excuse me. And so he has a warehouse in Arizona and in Europe, and they do gift cards. And so kind of what I was thinking of doing, because giveaways are kind of hard now, especially with larger model kits, trying to ship that out to somebody, especially if it's going across the pond over to Europe or the UK, it costs a fortune. And so what kind of I had worked out with Andy was their gift cards stopped at about $100. But I talked to him a bit. He was going to talk to these web designers, and they were going to add different price scales in there, just so there's more than just 4 options. And from now on, what Kenny is planning on doing, just to make it easier and more fair for everybody during the monthly giveaways and during the Christmas giveaway, is to just purchase a gift card and do those for the giveaways. That way people can kind of either get a kit that they want more or less, or they get the value of the kit that he's giving away, and then they can just purchase it straight from Andy's Hobbies headquarters. So Andy, he's a wonderful guy, and he works really hard at keeping his prices down for people so that they can get great models at a good price. And so it's definitely been nice trying to work with him to kind of get the giveaways a little more interesting. So that's kind of the update there with the HobbyLink International giveaways. Also, Spencer is working on a lot of different lighting boards, trying to create some new lighting boards for some of these newer kits that are coming out. And if you did get your Grissom, I do believe they have some more Grissom lighting boards coming in, so you can get your lighting board over there at HobbyLink International. Chris is in the house. Start over, he says. So you didn't miss a whole lot, Chris. Just me rambling on about absolutely nothing, because I'm not feeling good. I'm not going to be getting a whole lot of modeling done today. And so I think today's going to be, I do have a doctor's appointment over the phone with my primary care doctor later today. And because we need to change a few things, but I think I scheduled that for later this afternoon, so it shouldn't interfere with the live stream. International shipping is insane. Yeah, it cost me. So I sent Wayne Green from World of Wayne a package, and it weighed less than a pound, but it was a fairly decent sized package. And this was maybe like 6 months ago or 4 months ago, and it cost $40 for a little over $40 to send that to him. That same package today would cost almost $80. Why? Who knows? Maybe it's the cost of fuel going up. Who knows? But yeah, it's just ridiculous. And even shipping within the United States, the U.S. Post Office, they've raised their rates. And it's massive, like the amount that they raised them. So just absolutely crazy. I've for that reason too, I think I don't know. I was trying to think of what to do for my giveaways, because we do have, once we reach the 500 subscribers, we have that heated mug giveaway, and then the Eleanor Mustang giveaway when we reach 1,000 subscribers. And that's way off. We're almost there. We're getting close to 500. We're almost to 300 subscribers. So thank you everybody that has subscribed to the channel. And so for that giveaway, that mug shouldn't be very expensive to send out, the heated mug, but that the Eleanor is going to cost quite a bit, but you never know. Chris, as I found out, sending a cheater a ship if the box says 22 inches, the USPS is going to put it to you. Yes, they will. And I didn't cheat, Chris. I only used my one account. I don't use my other account for collecting those chips. Plus, I sent 500, the 500 chips that Kenny gave us. I sent those 500 chips to Lewis because he wasn't on that day, and Lewis only had like 40 chippy chips or whatever. And you know, he can't get on very often, so I'm hoping that maybe if he can get on for the giveaways for at the end of the month, that he might be able to win something. But yeah, and you know what's funny is some people have been saying that UPS has been cheaper to ship stuff lately, which may or may not be true. I don't really, our UPS here in Yreka, they're open, and I kid you not, their little UPS office is only open for an hour and a half every day. So from noon to 1:30 is the only time you can get in there to ship something out, which is so bizarre. They do have other hubs that you can go to, but I've never really tried that. So Paul is in the house. Hi, Paul. How's it going? Hello, everyone. How's everyone today? Just hanging in there, Paul. The weather everywhere in the U.S. has been extremely crazy. I don't know how it is up in Canada, but I'm sure you guys have had some interesting weather as well. Chris, the cost was $18. Then she put the box dimensions in, and it jumped to 78. Yeah, yeah, that's just, and that's $78 to ship within the United States is not worth it, because that is more than the model cost itself, which is just ridiculous. I can't remember when I ordered my SR71 from Andy's Hobbies headquarters. Because of his great prices, it was only $100. In fact, I still think if you order a SR71, the new Blackbird from Revell from Andy's Hobbies headquarters, he still has it at only $99, which is beating everybody. But I don't know how much to ship it would cost now. The shipping when I did was about $9, $9.99, which was not bad at all. So yeah. And then, yep, I bought the new one, and it had shipped for $15 less. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the nice thing is, because, I mean, Andy's Hobbies headquarters and Sprue Brothers, they're so used to shipping these larger kits that they do their best to keep it very well protected, but in the smallest package that they can possibly get. And Dirk is in the house. I don't know how I missed Dirk. What's up, peoples? How's it going? I'm sure you are at work. Hope you're having a great day. And we were just talking about egg ships and egg planes and things like that. And I think it was you that had done that Titanic, which turned out really cool. Paul was saying 6 degrees Celsius and sunny here right now. Yeah, one day it'll really nice. Then next it's horrible. Yeah, that's kind of what's happening all over the place. And Dirk was saying hello to Chris. A couple other projects that I'm still working on. So I am, like I said before, I'm working on trying to get all the Ladder 9 stuff done up. And once the Land Rover is packed up and finished and ready to send off to Linda, I do have to get the hind started, and the hind is kind of we're right there. So it's funny because every time I open up the hind, so that is the Edward, however you want to say it, Hind D limited edition, and it comes with all of the photo etch and fun stuff like that, a bunch of resin parts, which I'm still confused on how to really get those sorted out and taken off the little pad that they were printed on. But when I opened it up and I started going through the destruction manual, I went and marked everything and all the PE. And in the first two stages or first two steps on the instructions, which are mostly just working on the cockpit area, there are over 60 pieces of photo etch that have to go in there, and a lot of sanding down and filing that you got to do to get the photo etch to fit. And so I'll open it up, I'll look at it, and then I'll put it back away because I'm a little intimidated by it. That is a lot of photo etch, but I got to get it done. And I'll hopefully be starting that here maybe after Easter is my goal, because we got to get that done. I have a few other, I did enter a few other group builds over at HobbyLink International that I don't know if I'm going to be able to complete them this year. We have the JJ prize, which I kind of entered in. I might be holding off on doing the JJ prize and not do it for the group build. I might just do it with Lewis and a few of the guys over from the Saturday Night Crash, James and them, if they decide to do it. Steve over there he's already done one. He's in the process of doing one of his JJ prize. I think he said he has two like I do. So we'll kind of see what happens with that. 70 degrees Fahrenheit here, but too windy to spray paint. Yep. And Chris is saying cockpits are kits within a kit. Exactly. And that's the thing, like that, the cockpit is so detailed in the hind. And I don't know what you're going to do with yours, Chris. Are you going to have the cockpit opened up so you can see inside? I'm on the fence because I don't really, I don't see me doing it as if it's flying. I think I was just going to do it as if it's been landed and opened up, maybe just to display some of that cockpit, just because of the amount of work that's going into it. And Chris's hind, if you head over to the community, you can see the work that Chris has been that he'll be doing on his in the forum as well. And his has it's like a full resin kit it's like an upgrade kit for the cockpit, along with tons and tons of photo etch. So his will definitely blow mine out of the water, I'm sure. Don't be intimidated, just go slow. That's true, Kevin. And that's the thing, is another reason why I kind of put it off. And this is because this is kind of how my brain works, is I feel like, I don't have a photo etch bender. The only thing I have are these duckbill pliers, which are massive duckbill pliers. And I have needle nose pliers, but they're rough. They don't have a smooth, they have that really rough edge on them on the mouth part. And so I feel like those aren't good for photo etch, but it's like, I know it can be done without a photo etch bender. They're really expensive. I can't afford to get one right now. So I could probably do everything with the tools that I have. It's just, for some reason, my brain thinks I have to have this photo etch bender to get it done, and I probably don't. So, it's just a matter of me getting over that, hump, so to speak. Chris was saying, take the hind to the hospital with you, hold the sprue up, and ask the surgeon to cut parts off. Yeah, that'll work, because they're really good with precision work. I'm considering putting the pilots in the wheels and up and mounting it on the wall. There you go. That'll work. I don't think I got pilots with mine, so that's another consideration to having it landed and not in flight. I'll have to double check my sprues, but I'm pretty sure I didn't get them. And Dave from Sprue and Glue, hi, Kalan. Hope you're well. I hope you're well, Dave. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm usually asleep when you're doing your stuff, and I need to get caught up on what you've been doing, because you've been building some really cool stuff over on your channel. So it's always good to see you, Dave, and thanks for taking the time to pop in on my live stream today. Kevin said, don't need a bender. You can use 2 razor blades. You know what? That actually isn't a bad idea. And I think I do remember actually seeing somebody mention that before. It might have been you, Kevin. So yeah, use 2 razor blades to bend it. There are a few interesting bends though that you've got to do, which will prove a little bit challenging. But I did see at Hobby Lobby they have those photo etch pliers for doing the metal, the metal works or whatever those are called. I'm drawing a brain fart because I have a few of them, but the whatever, the metal earth things. And they have those smooth ends on those pliers, so on the needle nose pliers, which would work really, really well. Pilots are part of the Zvezda kit. That would make sense, which is really interesting. I'm curious as to why mine doesn't have it, because I don't think Edward used the Zvezda kit. They used a different kit for which they partner with sometimes, and so I think it is a little bit different than yours. I did see the Zvezda kit available at one point and was really curious about possibly picking that one up. It would be awesome to get a 1/32 Hind. They do make one. Percent of likes, come on peeps, we can do better. Yeah, if you haven't hit that like button, don't forget to hit that like button. And Spruce said 5 likes, so we have 12 people watching, and let's get those likes up, everybody. Thank you, Dave. So also there's a few other kits that were on the back burner. We have the 1937 Chevrolet. Some of you might remember that one. Way back, working on that one. And I think I'm at a point to where I'm just going to finish it and call it as is. If I ever do get a chance to get that Lindbergh kit or a different version of the 1937 Chevrolet, I would definitely love to build it. The Lindbergh kit, I put a lot of time and effort into trying to make it good, and I think I've done what I can with it. So it's time to finish that up. We also have the 32 Ford, the AMT 1932 Ford that I did as the speed build, part of the speed build right after Christmas with Chris and all the people over at HobbyLink International. And I need to get that one finished up, as well as the airplane that I was working on. And Mr. Spock is coming along. I'm going to get some primer on him and finish doing up some of the detail. I still need to order the correct Spock head. So it's a resin printed Spock head that I will be putting on that. I'll be working on that one pretty soon here as well. I'm hoping maybe next month. And then I have the M4A3 Sherman, which was the first tank that I have ever built, and I had started that one, part of the HobbyLink International tanks or armor of World War II, and I kind of hit a stopping point with that just because there's so much detail in it. There's like almost 200 parts in that kit. And so that is another one that I need to get back down on the workbench and really work on. So I have, I have quite a few different things that I can at least film, since I have this extra time now to try to backlog some video and have it release after I'm out doing my surgery and all that. Chris was saying, you going to enter 2 kits this year? No, I am not. So what Chris is talking about is we have kind of turned it into an annual thing. So after Christmas, the day after Christmas, we start a speed build to January 1st. So you get about a week, a little over a week to do it. And it's more of just a way to challenge ourselves and see what we can do. And last year I was dumb and I entered 2 kits. And that was a mistake. If I had just entered 1, I probably would have finished in time. So this year I'm just entering 1 kit, and it's basically starting the kit from start to finish. And I failed last year, but I'm hoping to do it this year. And the funny thing is Kenny has supposedly said that he is going to enter it this year. So we'll see what he does. I was thinking this year just to keep things simple and do a Bandai kit, because those are so easy just to slap together and get some paint on them. So I might do all right with that. Chris was saying you can build that Sherman in a week and weather it in 4 to 6 weeks. That's, honestly, that's true. It has gone together very fast so far to where I'm at. And so it might be time to bring that down and get it at least finished, put together, so then I can paint and weather it, because that is going to be the most time consuming thing, is painting and weathering it. But I'm actually starting to really like tanks now. The only problem I have with that particular Tamiya kit is it has rubber band tracks, and I don't understand how people make rubber band tracks look so good and so real. So we'll have to see what I can do with it. And Paul, yes, any updates on the 67 GTO? So thanks for bringing that up. Paul was nice enough, because for those of you that have been following my body, I butchered it. The body for the GTO, I just dug the lines in too big. Like, technically, if this was scaled up, you'd be able to fit your thumb into all these panel lines and on the doors and stuff. And it was too much. It was kind of my first experience with trying it. I also screwed up the paint on it, and I didn't know what to do. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to chuck this or keep it for a later build. But Paul was so kind to send me a new body. So I have a new body, and I will be most likely just very gently going through and rescribing the lines on this one. It just has very little cleanup work that needs to be done to it. And then I will paint or prime and paint this one. And so I'm going to, this time I'll make sure I recreate enough of the GTO blue that I wanted to do. It's kind of a metallic blue. And then we're going to spray this body. And so that is really all I have. That is really all I have left to do on the GTO. So as soon as I can get around to doing this one, probably sometime after the Land Rover is done, because I really want to get this GTO finished. It's such a beautiful car. And thanks again, Paul, for hooking me up with that body. That way I can get it finished up. So, and again, this was an MPC kit. So for those of you that follow along on the fire truck on the Ladder 9, as some of you know, my fire chief has asked me to if I could build a replica of a couple of our engines, and we can auction those off as well during the annual benefit dinner. And so I've been trying to find kits to do this. And another thing has been money, because those are really, some of these kits are not cheap. And so I ended up finding a guy that had a American LaFrance, the pumper, and he had that kit for, I think it was $50, and that included shipping. So I picked that one up. That is on the way. I should be getting that this week. And then I need to find some more donor kits to kind of piecemeal together a replica of our, see, I have the paperwork here. It's so we have a 1961 Seagrave that is in our warehouse down at the city yard that we're restoring. And so I want to kind of replicate the 61 Seagrave that we have. That was engine 405. And then its predecessor, engine 404, was a 1951 open cab Seagrave. And that is proving hard to find, but I think I can replicate it to some degree if I just get a bunch of different fire engine kits, and then I can just kind of create it and make it look similar to or as close to as our 1951 open cab Seagrave. I do need to pick up for engine 410, which was one of our excuse me, one of our utility trucks. I need to pick up a 79 Dodge model kit and then swap the bed out with a utility bed and a pumper on it with all the pumps and controls and things like that to replicate that one as well. Excuse me while I get some water. So get back to chat because Nat is in the house. Good evening, Kalan. Good evening, Nat. Hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful Monday. And she's saying evening to all in chat. And Chris said those old cars had horrible panel joints anyway. Yeah. And like even like my 75 Firebird, I do remember because the doors on a Firebird are so heavy that sometimes those gaps open up. But it was not that big that you could shove your thumb into the gap. Chris was saying hi to Nat, and Paul's saying hi to Nat, and Muse was saying hi to Dave and Nat, and Nat saying hello to Chris, Paul, and Marcy, and Paul saying hi to Muse. And Muse was saying hi to Paul, and Dave's saying hi to Muse, and Dave's saying hi to Paul, and Muse is saying sounds like a lot of scratch building. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be quite a bit of scratch building. That's the other thing to where I don't have a 3D printer, and I know that if I was able to 3D print parts, and I could probably piecemeal those replicas or just create a complete new file replicating the 51 open cab Seagrave as well as the 61 Seagrave, which was a closed cab. But if you take a look at the American LaFrance, they had almost a similar front end as the Seagraves did. So we'll see what happens. And Kenny, speaking of Kenny, your ears must have been burning, is in the house. Hello, everyone. And HobbyLink International. So thanks for popping in, Kenny. It's always good to see you. Hope your day's going well and the puppies aren't giving you too much trouble today. And Paul's saying hi to Sprue. And Nat saying hello to Kenny. And vice versa. Muse is saying hi to Kenny. And Dirk said, hey there, Nat. Great to see you. Literally. And Kenny saying hi to Marcy. And Nat was saying, I started watching some of your live stream from last night, Kenny. Such a professional layout. So jealous. And I hope Kalan didn't cheat too much. No, I didn't cheat. And it wasn't intended that way. So it's just, it's funny because it's easy. So, like I always thought, okay, well, my Chippy loot, I always used it on my White Glove Models account. So or Chippy Chips. So I would log into that, and then because Melissa wanted to spend some time with me because I'm always in here, but I wanted to kind of follow along chat and kind of inconspicuously follow the live stream. I pull it up on my phone. Well, my phone is linked to my personal YouTube account, and so it comes up that way. So I don't try to cheat. I just and also, like I said, I gave those 500 chips that Kenny gave us. I gave those to Lewis because Lewis is never available to really come into the live stream. So I try to be fair. I'm not trying to pull anything over anybody. But yeah, Kenny's live stream, I did go back and watch it last night from beginning to end, and it was a great stream. I really regret missing out because we got into some good conversation about Star Trek, which I wanted to put some input in. But I tried to respond, Kenny, as best as I could in the comments after the video. So Kenny was saying, laugh out loud. Now I have to go back to the beginning. Kenny finally crawled out of bed. He's probably been on puppy duty and all that. Marcy say, plenty of people in the community with printers and mad skills. That is so true. And actually, for those of you that don't know, Lou Domalso did a couple of 3D printed builds of the Sucker Punch girls from Sucker Punch the movie. By far one of my favorite movies. It's really well put together. And so I got in contact with Lou and I said, hey, where did you get those print files? And so he told me he got them from Moonson Lee on Facebook. And so I got in touch with Moonson and purchased the files from him. But because I don't have a printer, the wonderful Omar, who is a member of HobbyLink International, has agreed to print them off for me and then send them to me and delete the files. So that has been kind of a cool collab working on trying to get those printed up. I don't know where Omar's at with it. There's a lot of work apparently that has to go into getting them set up to print in the scale that he needs. And so I'm very excited because I bought Baby Doll, and so I'll do that one first, and then we'll be probably getting the others because you can put them all into one really nice little stand and diorama, which is really cool. So yeah, maybe I can talk to him about possibly doing something with the fire engines or somebody else in the community as well. Kenny's saying, thank you, Nat. We are going to bust his chops. Yeah, and you guys have been, especially Chris. Hi, Dirk. Always a pleasure, literally. Dave saying, peeps, please remember to hit the like button. Yes, don't forget to smash that like button. And Kenny was saying, don't worry, Kalan, I merged them. Oh, what? To 0. There you go. So I have zero chippy chips. So Nat, he owes me a refund for cheating. So, well, I don't know if Kenny sent me back to 0. I can't send you any chippy chips. Sorry, Chris. It's Kenny's fault. Jay is in the house. Hello, Jay. Good evening, Kalan. Hope everyone is okay and well. As well with you. I hope your packing is going well and that you're all ready for your big move. And I wish you luck with moving. I know that's never any fun, and you've got a lot to be moving because he, if you don't know Jay's channel, he works on a lot of different part works and stuff like that. And my fear is I would lose parts, and when you get to your new place, it's going to be a bugger to try to get everything reorganized and sort out what parts are where. But I'm sure you have a system for that, and you're all planned. And I hope your move goes well. Muse is saying, yeah, that's cheating. Fine, fair enough. I believe you, Kalan. Cough, cough, says Nat. Nat says, evening to Jay. How is the move preparations going? And so I can't remember where Jay's moving to or how far away it is from where he currently lives. But yeah, moving is never fun. How did those Canon STL files work out, Kalan? So Paul's talking about the Victory because Lewis and I are doing the Victory build for HobbyLink International for the tall ships build. And so there are over 100 cannons on the Victory, and the barrels are garbage. The Revell printed barrels are absolute garbage. And Lewis, like, I don't know how or when he had time to do this, but he went through and cleaned them all up and drilled holes through all of them. And I started drilling holes through all of them. I think I did manage to get that far, but there's so much cleanup to be done on the barrels to make them look right. I just thought about scrapping them. So I thought, well, what about 3D printing them? Because Paul had mentioned that, instead of trying to find brass barrels, which don't exist. And so, Paul, I haven't gotten any further with that, just because I'm kind of to a point to where I need to get moving along with the victory. So I might just throw the existing barrels on there and call it good. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe now is a good time, since I can just go in the living room and relax my back a bit, and just file those down, just spend time filing and sanding the barrels down to make them look right. I mean, that is something I could do, on days like today where I'm not doing so good. So maybe I'll do that. Jay's saying, going okay, trying not to stress out. I feel you, brother. Oh, man. HLI show looks good, fun. Unfortunately, it's around 1 a.m. UK time. Yeah, and Kenny usually goes on about, I think, 6 or 7 his time, and so it is pretty late in the UK. Sometimes Lewis is awake at that time, and because he'll be driving, and he can just put HLI on in the background, which is good. But at some point, Lewis needs to win something from the giveaway, so I'm hoping that he gets that opportunity, because Lewis needs more kits. Nat's going to smack me for saying that. Dirk was saying, what are chippy chips? Bucks. Hey, Todd is in the house. Marvel PX or Phoenix Bucks. Yeah, Buck needs to get his own loot, or at least merge with, because Buck always has longer streams too, because he'll be working on part work builds. And see, that's something I don't know if I could necessarily do a part work build like Buck does over at Buckman's Model Mania live, because I get frustrated sometimes with parts, and sometimes I'll say something I might regret regarding the build. So and also, it's just everything goes really slow sometimes for that, but it just depends on what you're working on too. And to me, it's not really for my port. When I go back and watch my filming of them, it's not that interesting. So that's why I cut mine back and edit them so much, is because to me, it's just, nobody wants to sit there and watch me just babble on about trying to build a part, or going back and having to fix something that I screwed up 10 times. So, Chippy Chip. Thanks, Dirk. I really fancy Chip show now. The Chippy Chips, if you don't know, HobbyLink International, if you head over there and watch their live streams and subscribe, you earn Chippy Chips, which you can use to win model kits at the end of every month. Also, over Christmas time, I don't think you need Chippy Chips for the Christmas builds. You just have to be a member and a member of the or a subscriber of the channel, and then a member of HobbyLink International's forum, and then you can win the Christmas ones. Shop. That's what she meant. So, Dirk, I really fancy Chip Shop now. Muse was saying, I want to move, but oh my gosh, moving just my model stuff will take days. Yeah, mine is getting out of control, and I need to stop buying kits. There's this thing called Scale Model Graveyard, which has become addicting, because you find things that you want to build, and then you end up buying them and spend too much on shipping. Jay was saying, I'm doing my best not to lose parts. Yeah, that's my problem. It would take me years to find all the parts if I ended up having to move right now. Now I'm saying, oh God, don't get Lewis started on the cannons. Yeah, that and to be honest, absolutely honest, so I'm kind of to blame for getting Lewis into this build. He had other ideas, and I think his would have been much better. But I decided of what, because he had showed me the Revell Victory kit, and so I thought, well, let's do that one. And I regret it, and I feel bad because it's not a good kit. The Revell Victory, it's an old mold, and nothing is right about it. There's so much, but we're doing our best to make it look right and to just give it justice, because sometime down the road, when Nat and Paige agree to let Lewis get a wooden Victory or a wooden model kit, I will be getting one as well, and we'll be doing a actual wooden ship, which I think will turn out a little bit better than the Revell kit. Uh, you could, for Nat and Lewis, get Saturdays. Usually it seems like Lewis is awake at 1 o'clock on Saturdays, so just depends on how much sleep he got during the week. Muse is saying you don't realize how much you own until you have to move it. Very, very true. That's like my shop. My tools out in my shop are there's just so much, and we don't even have all of my tools here. We have some of them in storage, because that's also where I keep all this stuff to work on the boat. And so it's kind of everything just has kind of been stuck over there and in and out. What would be cool is if we ever do buy a house that has a nice big shop in it, then I'll be set. Chris was saying, if I ever have to move again, I'm burning all my stuff and moving to a cave. There you go, buddy. Is a 197-mile move. Wow. So that's pretty far. That's a good distance. Todd saying, hello all, I can never move again. Too many Legos and models at this point. I have to die in this house. Yeah, you have a load of stuff, Todd, and my wife won't let me display stuff like you have the opportunity to. Beautiful, beautiful models though. And brass tubing, make your own. That's what I was thinking about the barrels too, Muse, was using brass tubing, but there's so much. Cannon barrels are shaped so different that it's just really hard to, because they go from the large area down to the small. It would take a lot of work to do over 100 of them, but I don't know. We'll see. And I don't really know. Hopefully my video is doing okay. Hopefully I'm not blurry to anybody. Nat saying, bless you, Kenny, don't worry. The downside of loving international streams, indeed. And I knew she would say this. Lewis does not need more kits. I don't know. Well, that's what I say too. I know, Melissa says that all the time. And she's right. I do agree, but you know how it is with us modelers. I was actually talking to Phil from Sprueverse the other day when he was up here, and it's funny because his wife was kind of saying the same thing, but she really does support his hobby, and it's just kind of a drug for us, I guess. You see something, you got to buy it, and then you never know, are you actually going to build it? Who knows? But yeah, it's it's a lot of fun. I'm kind of at that point to where I look behind me and I have stuff I have stuff hidden in file drawers and dresser drawers and everywhere else, and then on shelves up here, and I need to build more shelves. And my wife's like, you don't need to build more shelves. You need to get rid of some of your kits. I'm usually 7 p.m. Eastern Wednesdays and Saturdays. That's when HobbyLink International goes live. And Muse is saying I work both of those days. But you pop in on occasion, like everybody else that works. Muse works later in the afternoon and the evenings. Chris is saying Buck streams are 30 minutes of building, 60 minutes of fixing what he built, 60 minutes of gab, 30 minutes of making old man trips to the bathroom. That is very true. You mean Space Loot. Dirk, we changed the name. You didn't know that? Dirk hasn't been following along, Kenny. Yeah, Dirk, Space Loot is now Chippy Chips. They renamed it. Muse was telling Dirk. And Chris saying, I need to stop buying kits. I fell out of my chair. Yes, I know. I've said that how many times? And it is true though, because the wife and I do need to start saving for, we have a trip in 2025 to Europe that we are going on with family. And so we do need to save up for that. And then there was something else she told me that I need to put money in savings for. I can't remember. Muse says stop, question mark. Nat, to us in the UK, Chippy Chips is chips from the fish and chip takeaway. There you go. Yeah. Do they call those Chippy Chips? They probably do. Muse is saying Dirk saying I'm craving some good fish and chips. Yum. Yeah, that's one thing I do look forward to when we are in the UK is trying some really good fish and chips. So hopefully we'll find some good spots. Musa saying what I need to stop buying is paints. Paints can get expensive, and I think that is actually where I do spend the majority of my money on is paints. They're ridiculously expensive. There is one thing I would like to try to do is use the Duplicolor or whatever the spray paints and try that on one model and see how it holds up. Because if you watch Chris over at HPI Guys, that's all he uses for the most part, except for his detail work. He'll use craft paints and other stuff like that. And I've been told that craft paints work just as well. The little $2 craft paints that you buy, like I have a few of them, they hold up just as well as Tamiya and Vallejo and any other like that. Not likely to happen though, Muse says. Every time someone mentions a brand I don't have, I go get some. See, that's kind of what's been slowly happening to me. But Spray Gunner is, one of my absolute favorite companies. But they keep sending me different brands of paint, and it's like, okay, so I have a couple of this brand and a couple of this brand and stuff, and it works out. But yeah, it's funny because I always end up with just little bits of different types of paint, and then I never know when to use them. I do have the Wicked colors, which I'm very interested in possibly even using those Wicked colors on the GTO and a couple of the other cars, because those are perfect for that. And then this last time they sent me Chroma Air, and the Chroma Air, so I have two different kinds of Chroma Air now, the aluminum, which is a new color, and then their Bloody Mary, which is kind of a nice color, they said, for making certain scenes and things like that. Let's see. Kenny was saying we just need to buy like 200 acres of land and make a hobby compound. There you go, Kenny. Over 100 UG. Screw that. Oh, I'd print that many. Yeah, there's over 100 cannons on the Victory, so that is a lot of cannons to do. And so you're trying to print those out. They are very, very tiny though, so I don't know. It is worth maybe asking somebody like Tom or Omar if they'd be willing to 3D print those for me. But then it just kind of puts the whole build, it sets it back a little bit, which I'm trying to avoid because because Lewis is getting ahead of me on it. And Muse is saying exactly. And Sprueverse, Phil, how are you doing? Hi, Kalan, stumbled across the feed. How's it going, Phil? I'm so glad to have you pop in. So if you're not familiar with Sprue Versus channel, he does some amazing stuff. And the kind of one of my favorites that he just recently finished was the TOS Enterprise by Polar Lights. Just beautiful. So hi, Phil. Thanks for stopping in, and hope your week is going well. And hopefully you get some time to relax this week. Nat was saying, when you're over, Kalan, you need to come over to us at the Lincolnshire coast. I may be biased, but you can't beat seaside fish and chips. That's what Lewis was saying, Nat. And so we definitely would love to come and visit you guys, maybe even after Telford or before. And I told Lewis, I said, I told him he's going to have to take me to some good fish and chips while I'm over there. Muse was saying the thing that paint is that they do not all play well together. And yeah, that's so true. And, you were telling me to try to avoid using certain paints once on top of another. And so that's the thing is like if I'm using Tamiya, I kind of feel like I should stick with Tamiya the whole way through. Part of the reason why I didn't put the what is it called? The All Clad 2. So I have All Clad 2 flat clear, but I didn't want to use it because I was afraid it might not work well with the Tamiya. And then I have some Vallejo mixed in there as well. So I just didn't want to screw anything up. So I'm just going to, I ended up getting the flat base, or not the flat base, the Tamiya flat clear. So I'll be working on that here as soon as the weather clears up. I do see a few snowflakes falling, which is very interesting. So, but again, very little moisture still for us here in Yreka. I'm sure everywhere else around us, it's dumping rain and snow. Chris was saying a hobby cult. That's that would be interesting. A compound with just modelers in working on scale models and videos. So true, Muse. Nat saying Nat uses a lot of Citadel colors, which I'm very curious about trying. My wife had a whole bunch of Citadel, but it all went bad. I tried to revive it, but it didn't work out. But she said I could possibly order some, but it's really hard to just order individual colors. Not knowing exactly what you need. So maybe sometime when I'm up at a hobby store with her that she likes to go to in Portland, they carry a lot of the Citadel stuff. And so I might pick some Citadel up then. Chris is saying, I'll join the hobby cult, but I'm not drinking any Kool-Aid. Me neither, Chris, says Kenny. Muse is saying, we already drank the Kool-Aid. Yes, we did. And lots of testing is the only solution. Yeah, Muse, I appreciate that because that's why I have a couple of paint mules that I tend not to utilize as much as I should. And so that would actually be a good use for these guys, is to just try different clear coats over the paints. So I might actually mess around with that a little bit this week if I am feeling up to it and my back isn't killing me so much. So that's always a good plan. And we get to put the rivet counters on a firing line. Yeah, no, chat. You guys are hilarious. So Nat was saying you need all of the Citadel paints. If I was to get all of the Citadel paints, I would be broke. And Phil was saying Tamiya Vallejo paint like Krylon matte and gloss in the large rattle cans. Very fine coats. Thank you, Phil. That's not a bad idea. And the Krylon matte and gloss paints are not that expensive at all. And I think one can would last you for quite a while. So that's good to know. Thank you, Phil. I will definitely give that a go and see how that works out. The big thing is trying to get a fine coat with it, and just knowing trying to control how much you're actually putting on so that you don't get any runs and things like that. That's the only thing I've ever noticed with the large rattle cans. Chris is saying, I want to try other paints, but Tamiya is just too darn easy to use. Tamiya is great for spraying, but I agree with Kenny. It sucks if you're trying to hand paint with it, just because I feel like there isn't that much of the media in it or the color, and so it works great when you're airbrushing, but man, when you try to go and hand paint, sometimes you have to put on several coats, and I don't like that. To me, it's definitely my go-to. Kenny was saying that. Yeah, I love spraying it, and it doesn't smell awful. Chris, at the hobby cult, we would all be high on glue fumes. Oh man. And Nat, good point made. Kalan, good job, and love Lewis and his wages. Yes, indeed. Lewis works hard. Hobby Link International saying, yes, it does. It always pulls back. I'm assuming you're talking about the Tamiya hand painting it. And Chris said, you need to put a couple drops of their paint retarder in it to hand paint. So, Chris, I have the Tamiya paint retarder like this, and it works. It does a good job, but I don't know. I always feel like maybe I put too much in or something, because what happens is sometimes I end up having to do a couple of different layers of it because it doesn't quite cover it with the first coat. My wife was saying Citadel does a great job of just a lot of times the first bit you put over, it'll completely cover the area that you need. Pigment. That's what I was trying to say. Not enough pigment to properly thin and brush with Tamiya, and it gums up too fast even with retarder in the mix. Yeah, that's kind of been my experience with it, but I definitely am curious about trying Phil's method of the Krylon for the matte and gloss, because I burned through that, especially on the Titanic. I kid you not, on the Titanic alone, on the repainting of the Titanic, doing the decks and all of the parts for it, I have gone through almost 10 of the 10 milliliter bottles of flat clear. And then for the gloss clear, I still have quite a bit of that. I don't go through as much of that, but I've also been adding some flat base to that at times to give it kind of a semi-gloss color. So environment is a huge factor as well. Yeah, and with it being so cold lately, I think that has a lot to do with my painting experience. And so I try to keep the room somewhat warm without opening the window. But if I have to use the paint booth, I have to open the window. And so I'll just kind of leave the heater running so that at least some heat is staying in here, and trying to avoid getting any moisture in the air. So yeah, that's kind of been how things have been going this winter. During the summertime, no problem, because the house stays relatively cool. Doesn't get over hot. But Kenny's saying, I love the Mr. Super Clear series of clears. I have never tried those, and I'm assuming the Mr. Super Clear, are they now I'm drawing a total blank. Are they acrylic, or are they the lacquer? That's another thing that with the All-Clad too, I was told that some of their product line is actually not lacquer, it's acrylic based. So, but for the most part, a lot of All-Clad is lacquer based. So trying to figure out which is which with All-Clad. I still have a whole bunch that I had purchased. I bought a ton of the All-Clad product line, just because I wanted to try it out. And Ross really recommends it. A few other people, they recommend it. And so I thought I'd give it a go, especially with the chrome and the aluminum colors. And Kenny's saying lacquer. Yeah. So that's the thing, you could end up buying, 100 different types of paint, but then like Marcy's saying, they might not all blend together very well. So, yeah. And that's the thing too, is I noticed some paints, they're just ridiculously expensive and they don't last very long. My supplier, she can get me the Tamiya, but all in 10 milliliter. She can't order the 23 milliliter, which I don't understand. I don't know if it's just the supplier that she's using won't send her those or whatnot. But the little 10 milliliter, for example, the royal blue and the metallic blue, because when I was painting the GTO, I burned through like 2 bottles of it alone, and I had thinned it out and everything. And so I don't really like that aspect of them. I wish that Tamiya would sell you large bottles, like even bigger than the 23 milliliter. Like if you could buy, especially for the clear coats, like buy a large like tub of it or something like that. That would be really awesome. Kenny was saying that I have sprayed it over Tamiya, ammo, and Vallejo, no problems. See, my question is with the long-term effect. So let's say you build a model and you do all this nice fine detail work and get everything perfect and painted on. And then, it's, let's say somebody purchases it or you give it to a friend 10 years down the road. How is that paint going to be holding up is kind of my whole thought process on things like that. Those are the things that keep me up at night. But yeah, I don't know. And it's probably fine. A lot of people have said that some paints after a year or two, or even less, they'll start to spiderweb or crackle. And I haven't experienced that yet. So I don't know. Those baby bottles stink. Yeah, I understand to a degree the 10 milliliter, but at the same time, come on, Tamiya, help us out and sell us like a 100 milliliter, or I don't know, anything. Even like 2 ounces would be nice. 2 ounces or 4 ounces at a time. If you could buy them like that, just would be great. And I think there's a market for that, but they just don't do it. Is that a lot of the other companies, Spray Gunner, will sell you a gallon of paint from certain brands, like their Badger Stynylrez primer. You can buy a gallon of it, and you can just get a little 2 ounce bottle, 4, 6, 8. That's the thing I love about Spray Gunner, is they have those options for certain brands. And man, if they would do that with Tamiya, I'd be all over it. And ammo by MIG too. Like I think you can sometimes get larger bottles of ammo by MIG. I wouldn't worry about 10 years if it lasts that long. It's a win, indeed. If they project the work in a proper display out of sunlight, there's no issue. Or protect the work in a proper display. Yeah, and that's why with all of my model kits, that if I do sell them, or if I'm working on something for a commission build, I will be making a display case for it if they want one. Otherwise, if they have a display case already, they can use what they've got. But I've been trying to include that in with my builds, just because even if I keep it and just store it for a while, I want it properly protected, because we have so much dust here. Bigger bottles would be awesome. Yes, indeed. So Muso's saying I'll have to try that then. So it is coming up onto an hour and a half, and I need to get moving around. My back is killing me today, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining in and coming and watching the live stream and listening to me ramble on about absolutely nothing. You guys are truly amazing, and I wish we could keep this going. But yeah, unfortunately, I have got to get up. My back is just killing me. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Don't forget to hit that like button. If you have not subscribed to the channel, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any great new content. And I'll just go through the chat real quick here because there are some other questions. Have you tried it over 8K? That's a good question. And I think that question is for Kenny. Only issue I have is the matte at the end of the can. It always dries gloss instead of dead flat. Oh, and I have to use it over scale 75 on my Skeleton Warrior build. No issue there either. Interesting. This is why Lewis started making his own cases using Perspex to help protect his models. Yes, and Lewis actually makes really, really nice cases for his builds. They do look good. I don't know if he's finished building his for the Lancaster yet, but because I think he did want to encase it just to protect it. Great fun as always. Thank you, Nat. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you, everybody. Good job, Kalan. Thanks, Chris. It's always a pleasure to have you and everybody else that's joined in. Man, your streams are almost as reliable as Nat's. Just kidding. You guys keep me entertained. Thanks, Dirk. Yeah, I apologize if I'm just not doing good, or if I have a doctor's appointment that I forgot that I scheduled at a certain time. It's just I'll put out a notice on Facebook that I'm not going to be on, but I'm trying to keep it at least doing it every week as best as I can. I almost wanted to cancel today, but since I canceled, I think, on you guys last week, I just felt like I needed to spend some time and talk to my people. So thank you so much for coming in. You're not missing anything, Kenny. Nothing but issues for me. That's too bad. And Kenny's saying boo, and Musa saying later all. So yeah, that is me for this week. We'll see what I can get out this week on Wednesday. I don't know what it's going to be yet. Still trying to get some final work done on the Eleanor. Also, I'm hoping maybe if I can get some more of the Messerschmitt, get that video finished and get it out of the way and do the final reveal on the Messerschmitt. That might be Wednesday's video, just because it'll be nice to have a completed build on the channel. And then the Bismarck Friday, I think I might have something for the Bismarck on Friday, maybe not. I can't promise anything because we're kind of at that point to where I've got a lot of priming and painting to do. So we might not have a Bismarck video. I might substitute the Eleanor or something else into that spot, or the Ecto 1 if I have anything on the Ecto 1. We'll see. I am getting a package from Eagle Moss tomorrow or Wednesday, and I think it's the Eleanor. So anyways, thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, everybody. And as always, I will see you next time. I'm still here.